Actually talking about today is a app that's called iauditor, and it's a very robust app. It's actually an auditor creator. So you can actually create your type of audit or a small form that you can easily fill out and customize to your liking. So we're going to jump into that real quick. It is available on the Play Store, so you can actually get it on your tablets right now, or you can put it on your smartphone. So I'm going to jump right into it. All right, and here's just a couple of audits that I kind of just made, just playing around with it. This is actually a really robust system, and we're actually going to be talking about the CBRE hazard assessment audit that I've made right here, which is basically a duplicate of the 4 sheets that they want us to sign out or sign off every time we do a work order, which, if you know, you got 2 on your tablet, you have 2 that don't even make sense, or you can't even really type in. So it's a little confusing on how you could actually fill this out in a very time efficient manner. So what I've done is I've taken the time and actually made an audit that actually a smart audit that actually kind of flows and doesn't open up all the sections all at once, and doesn't even include the section if you don't need it. So let me talk about iauditor there for a minute, because you can actually use it for a lot of things. If you notice, I have refrigeration PM 2015 down here, but tell you the truth, I do not use that. I just use Microsoft Excel on my phone, and then save that and send that to Eddie. The cooler and freezer door asset. I had a good idea to where I would basically record all of the information from all the doors from all the stores, and basically made an audit of that. So, but what I'm really happy about is the hazard assessment and ladders, because it's actually become very, very handy, and I can fill out the form and save it in a document with proper or customized text, and be able to save it on my phone. So let's jump into what we can actually do with this thing. So I was in a template. So those are the templates I made. Here's the audits that I actually have. So, like RTU, I figured that I would also start collecting data on all the units and be able to easily get that information back. So as you can see, I've made it quite a few. Alrighty, but what I really want to show you guys is the how to make one of these. So we're going to go back to templates, okay, and we are going to actually go in to the CBRE assessment. Actually, I'm going to go back and mess around with one that's not my master copy. So here we have this. We can start the audit. We can sync this tablet with the server. If you want to sign up, whatever, you can schedule an audit. It'll pop up on your phone saying, hey, you got to do this PM or whatever. You can export the template, upload, share on public library, and labels, duplicate, edit. So we're going to go to edit. So this right here looks kind of confusing, but it's actually not. Really what we have is up here is you have these tabs, and you can actually bring that tab down into your form. So if you want a checkbox, if you want an asset, the cool thing about the asset thing is that you can actually save a file that has all the assets. So that's really cool, because you can actually take a picture of it. You can actually put all the data into it, the amp draw, this, and that, when it was manufactured, and all that stuff. The address is really cool, because you can actually click on it, and using Google Maps, it will pinpoint where you're at. Question is basically if or a yes and no, or you can actually change it to whatever you want, which is really cool. Category, I use this usually as just a block. Just kind to separate different sections. And I have to say, the worst thing about this is trying to get this thing to slide over sometimes. it can be very annoying because it wants to pick it up. Drawing is really cool. If you were to take a picture of something, you can easily draw on it and say, you know, if you're doing a lanyard inspection, he knows that there's oil on it or it's cut or, you know, it needs to be replaced, you can easily take a picture of it while you're doing this audit, and you can actually circle exactly where the cut is or whatever, just kind of draw attention. Information is basically just static text saying, you know, fill in this part, or did you know, or something good. Media, you could have an option. So if you get down to it, you know, we can put the information in there, and then we could say, do you see any cuts? Yes or no. If yes, and then that media will allow you to actually take the picture or upload the picture. So multiple choice is really cool, and you can actually make whole files. So if you did a multiple choice, you can have one of the groups to be ladders. So you would have, you know, you go in there and you would put what kind of ladder it is, you know, 5 or 6 different ladders, and you can actually save it, and you could use it wherever you want in your document. I haven't used the barcode scanner. I haven't really needed to. We don't have anything like that. The signature is really good. The signature is really cool because, you know, a lot of the documents and stuff like that, they kind of want us to sign and all that good stuff. And this will give you actually a way to be able to sign on your tablet and get that digital signature. So the slider, basically, you know, it's kind of like a checkbox, you know, slide it this way or slide it that way. The switch, and to tell you the truth, with the slider and the switch, you might be able to actually do a lot more with it if you were to switch something on or off or whatever it may be. It might bring up another category or whatever. So text will give you a whole field. So like 4 or 6 blocks of text. The single line is just, of course, a single line. This is pretty cool. The weather, if you use your location or whatever, it will actually show the temperature, what kind of what's going on that day and stuff like that with the weather whenever you filled out your audit. The dynamic field is pretty cool. If the dynamic field is really good if you want to like add, let's say, like basically if it's the same question, you know, instead of when you're editing, you don't have to do the same question over and over again because it can actually be very time consuming, but you can actually put that whole question block in a dynamic field, and then whenever someone answers it, and if they have to basically do it for another set of equipment or whatever, they can just push add equipment, and then those same questions will come up. The smart field is really cool, and this is what makes it really robust and really really customizable, and this app is free. And tell you the truth, I don't pay for a lot of paid apps, but if it came down to it and I had to pay for this app, I would definitely pay for this app. It was very well thought of, very well done. I mean, this is probably one of the best apps, even though it's not the funnest and coolest and stuff like that. It's still like one of the greatest apps ever. So, so the smart field is really cool. If you guys know anything about computer programming, the Boolean, the if-else, you know, statements and stuff like that, you can actually do a lot with this. How I used it was, you know, of course, if you're doing a ladder inspection, or if you're about to get on a ladder, you know, if you're just going to get on a 6-foot ladder, you're not going to be doing the ladder, or you're not going to be doing the lanyard and harness inspection. So basically how I have it is, you know, am I going to be using the ladder? Yes. Are you going to be using the lanyard? No. Okay. Once I said no, it will take me to just go to the ladder inspection. Now, if I were to push ladder yes, harness yes, then it would take me into the section where I'm doing the harness and the ladder section. So, you know, it kind of hides sections away from you, so you're not so bogged down, and you can actually fill this out completely professionally and in a good way in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds to 5 minutes is generally what mine is, to really think about what I'm doing and what I'm having, and you know how I'm going to proceed about this stuff. So the sections that I have on here is the title page, the job hazard assessment, and the PPE checklist, and the FAS ladder inspection. So So you can actually break it up into sections and stuff. When you're developing your audit and stuff like that, you can actually see what it's going to look like by pushing this I over here. So we'll push the I. So right here, it has my little time clock, how long I'm doing it. So we're going to go to the first page. And I put a little thing in there, document number or whatever. It's for the Walgreens, conducted on. It automatically already puts the date and time. It's prepared by Whalen Kane. The store number, I type that in. So we can say 567 or whatever, you know. Work order is C501432, whatever. So that's that. So you go to the next page. Alright, department. So it wants to know where you're going to be at. So let's say that I'm going to be in the service ladder area. So you can see that it's saved it there. Job, procedures, work on AC. Alrighty, PPE and safety requirement properly selected for this job. You click that and it says okay. It says complete PPA checklist, which is on the next page. Alright, do you need a permit? Nope. But if you did, select permit needed. Okay, I need all that. Alright, great. You can select that if you wanted to. And get out of there. First aid kit needed? Oh, sure. Barricade and signs needed? Sure. Coordinate with other work crews? Nope, I'm not doing that. Tools required for task. So we're going to just say hand tools. Materials being used, I'm going to say, what could I put? Change contactor. Alrighty. So we got that. Alright, work activity. Okay, so right here, basically they want to know if you're going to be squatting down, running, or whatever. So I'm going to go to add activity. I'm going to go to my multiple choice, and I already have running, walking, jumping, climbing, bending, sitting, crawling, lifting, pulling, pushing, and there was another one that I wanted to put on there, but I forgot. But anyway, so we're going to be walking. I'm going to add another one. So, and I'm going to be climbing a ladder. Okay. Hazard presence, we can say fall, and trip. And then, of course, you would put like the hard hat thing and, you know, some of the things that, you know, you would put because of the ladder. The required safety measure, basically you would put, you know, what are you doing to prevent that? So, does your further evaluation of the job steps, associated hazards, or safety measures need to be performed? If yes, explain below. And we're just going to push no. And that's going to be that. So we're going to the next section. And we're going to go to eye protection. Yeah, that sounds good. Feet protection. Hand protection, that sounds good. And if you're wearing special gloves, if you're working with the chemicals and stuff like that, you should type it there. Will you be using a ladder? Okay, so I clicked yes, and then it says FSS needed. So I push yes, and the FAS safety inspection pops up. Now watch this. If I push no, then my ladder inspection pops up. So that's all I have to fill out if I need that. So that's good. Alright, so we're just going to do a quick tutorial on just without FAS. Or maybe we should. Here, let's do that. Alrighty, so right here, you're going to have your harness and model name and equipment. You can automatically save it in there. In the auditor template editor, you can put it in there, no problem. Alright, so these are the questions that are actually on your on the 4 sheets that you get from CBRE. So another thing, if you notice, is over here on the left hand corner you see this red bar. I've actually set it up where if you don't answer the question, then you cannot save this audit and you cannot send it out. So you got to make sure you take the time and do your inspection. So green, safe, yes, I'm safe. Looks good as I'm doing my audit. So other explain. I think right here I want to show you is, let's say, broken D-ring. Okay, that's cool. So I put that in there, and then you can actually put these 3 dots over here, and it says, oh, maybe not. Alrighty. Okay. So maybe you're doing a label and stuff like that. So you can actually put on here and put show notes and media. Okay, you can type in the note, hey, I'm not at risk, or whatever. And if you put at risk, it says, do not use harness. Contact your supervisor for replacement. You can enter description and photo by tapping the 3 horizontal lines. So we'll do that. We'll go to add media, and you can take a photo or whatever. So that's pretty cool stuff. Alrighty, other stuff that you kind of want to put in there, signature. So it says initial below if part A has been thoroughly inspected and has been determined safe. If not, type the word reject for the name of the signee. So you can type it there or whatever. And this right here is putting reject and stuff like that, is it brings the attention to whoever's reading these audits whenever they will. Who knows when they will. But at the same time, it will also make our red bar on the side green. So we can do signature, and we can just go W that and sign. So there's my signature there. So we'll continue to go safe. Looks okay. We want to sign that. Sign. Alrighty, and then snap hooks and all that good stuff. We're safe. Sign that. Alrighty, keep on going. So now we're in the ladder inspection part. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to say this is for the service ladder. Alrighty, the ladder type, we're going to say steel service ladder. It does not have a serial number that I know of. And the ANSI type, you don't have to put anything. Proper hardware, so you'll go through here and check your ladder and make sure everything is fine. So conditions of ladder stat, corrosion of metal, check for dents and bends, condition of okay, we're not doing that in that. So here's some in comments that if you want to type that in, you can. Little safety notices: never use damaged ladders, report all defective ladders to store managers and supervisors. And at the very end, you have signed documents. So by signing this document, you're actually signing all 4 pages basically that they hand you and say, okay, you need to do this every time you do a work order, which can really be time consuming. I mean, you know, really to put wherever the time it is and stuff. But as you can see, you know, it's been 7 minutes, 28 minutes, and this is just me explaining stuff. You know, you can go through there a lot quickly, checking your stuff. So here we are, is we're going to go here, and we're going to sign it like that, and then mark as complete. So if we was not in template mode or preview mode, it would allow us to actually save it. So the next screen is basically saying, how would you like to save it? And you can actually create an asset, or not an asset, but a profile. And if any of you guys want to use it, I'll show you the profile that I use. And it will actually save the document in the form that you want it to be. So now that we're done here, I will show you a made copy. So CBRE work, I got my health and hazard. So when I save the document, it actually saves it to this folder with the store name, with the PO or PM, and then the date, all in one, and there it is. You know, so whenever I send it, or if I have to look for it, I know, oh, on 8/19/15 at store 9162 on whatever, I did this safety audit. So this is what it will look like when it's done. So it's actually very well put together. And you notice in the bottom there's, you know, you got the score, but you know, that's just me not editing that out yet, but that can easily be done. So as you can see what it's for, document number, conducted on, my name, the store and work order for profile purposes, and this is how it actually gets to that file name, is that there is actually a way to put that in there, and when I put that in there, then it saves my file like that. So here we go. The disclaimer and stuff like that can be all taken out. The table of contents, you know, you can probably take that out. So here is what your audit will look like when we send it to our boss. Very professional. So here's the first page. Shows us everything. Here's our PPE checklist and stuff. Really cool, and our signatures are added and stuff. So this shows everything that I needed to do for the job in my signature at the bottom. In a neat, good looking file that's easy to read, that you don't have to worry about keeping up with, that's saved on your hard drive. So I'm going to go out of this, and really quickly we'll just go to more and go to details. Okay, so this file is 1.53 MB, which is not that big, and to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, I will probably export this folder for August 2015 onto my computer or up into the cloud or something and get it off my phone. So there was that one document, and then I'm going to show you another one, and you can kind of see that on this one, it asked me, am I going to be using a ladder? Maybe it's the next one. Okay, so what am I doing here? A refrigeration PM, okay. Yeah, let's go to a corrective. Here we go. Alright, so what am I doing here? Alright, replace door frame heater for freezer door. Okay, so I went through there and I put everything that I needed, you know, tools required in the task, eye protection, and all the stuff that I'm using. And if you notice, this document is done. It's done and over with. Why? Because I didn't need to use a ladder, and I didn't need to do my harness. So right here, and by reading the job description, obviously you're not going to see a ladder or a harness. So well, that is that, and I hope that you really enjoyed watching this. This is how I'm doing my hazard awareness safety checklist. I'm doing it very quickly. It's very organized and it's very neat looking, so very professional. So I like that. And the good thing is that anyone that wants to download this app, is the cool thing is you don't have to do all the hard work that I did. Because if you can see, this is me going in here and making that audit. So this is basically me programming the code and way the form is going to look. It gets pretty intense right here, as you can kind of see that I'm using, you know, smarts. What is it called? Smart fields. To be able to create this form. So I took a pretty good amount of time to do this, but in the long run, it's really saving me some time, and I think that it can save a lot of you guys a time too. So you don't have to worry about that, because all you have to do is get the app and then go down here to public library and be able to search for my title, and it will actually come up and you can actually save it as one of your audits, and so you can easily do the inspection. Now the only thing that you would probably want to do is go in and to the template editor and fill in your harness information or something that is like your name, you know, who's doing this, you know, audit and stuff like that. So very minor modifications already there. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this saves you a lot of time. Thanks.